I call to order the regular meeting of the Lakewood City Council of August 11th, 2014. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Murphy?
Here.
Shakti? Here. Roybal?
Here.
Johnson?
Here.
Quinn?
Here.
Paul?
Here.
Coop?
Here.
Fairway?
Here.
Ellen?
Here.
Wickman? Harrison?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Looks like we have a Boy Scout in attendance. Happened to ride up the elevator with you a little bit earlier. Can you tell us your name and what school you go to and what troop you're with, if you don't mind? Are you here for the citizenship badge? What school do you go to? Well, great. Well, welcome. We appreciate your being here. Is there another scout? No? Okay. All right. Next on the agenda is public comment, and again, we've got a light attendance tonight, so I'll just quickly read the instructions. This is the point in the meeting where the public is invited to address council on the items that do not appear on the agenda, and as always, we ask that those items are directed to City Council, and we do have a 3-minute time limit. It'll be there's green, yellow, and red lights. It'll be green for the first 2.5 minutes. It'll be yellow when you have 30 seconds left. When it's red, your 3 minutes are up. We ask you to wrap up your comments. Mr. Atkinson.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be with you again tonight. Again, I would like to address the verbiage text for the marijuana question that's going to be on the ballot in November. I'm a little concerned with the wording. I think it could be written more clearly. I think we have an obligation to the citizens of the community to make sure we're very clear in what we're asking for them to vote on. And I would suggest you look at the verbiage again, rework it, and make it crystal clear as to what they're voting on. I've read Amendment 64. I did not see anything in that amendment that dictated what the verbiage should be or how it should be written, whether in a positive or a negative way. I know that's contrary to what the city attorney said, but I suggest that it's not in the Amendment 64. And if it's not there, where did it come from? I have a real concern about what was done here on July 14th. There were over 40 people who, with passion and with much articulation, talked about the negative impact of passing retail sales in the city of Lakewood. I recognize that it's on the ballot. I also recognize the verbiage is not clear. What I'm concerned about is, do you have children that live in Lakewood? Do you have grandchildren that live in Lakewood? Do you have families that come to Lakewood? I have children. I raised 6 of them here. I have grandchildren. I think it's demeaning that this city is going to allow the possibility that marijuana could be sold here. I think we need to do something about it. I recognize it's going to be on the ballot. I think that was a mistake. I hope you can clarify the verbiage, make the text so people can understand it, so it's not ambiguous. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Atkinson. Excuse me. Anyone else in chambers wish to comment on anything that's not on the agenda? With that, I will close public comment, and I would turn to at this point to our attorney Linda Mashad to talk about the ballot language and the reason it is the way it is, and how it aligns with the language in Amendment 64. Fair enough?
To push that on?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The ballot question is written the way it is because it exactly mirrors the terminology that is expressly found in Amendment 64. And we also think that the ballot language is clear in that many other jurisdictions have adopted similar, if not identical, language to what has been proposed and adopted by this council through Ordinance 2014-16. So the reference to retail marijuana store is exactly what is identified as the correct terminology in Amendment 64. And to refer to it in any other way by other terms such as recreational or adult use only, we suggest would be more confusing and inconsistent with the express language of Amendment 64.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from council? All right, let's move on to the consent agenda. Margie, would you please read the items on the consent agenda into the record?
The consent agenda consists of items 5 through 8 inclusive. Item 5, Resolution 2014-26, supporting the grant applications to Jefferson County Open Space and the State Board of the Great Outdoors Colorado Trust Fund for Phase 1 of the redevelopment of the Carmody Park site. Item 6, Resolution 2014-27, accepting an easement from Lakewood City Commons LP to allow the installation and maintenance of a snow melt system serving the Lakewood Civic Center Plaza. Item 7, Resolution 2014-28, authorizing a revocable license agreement between the City of Lakewood and CenturyLink for a temporary fiber optic line to be laid across City Park land known as the Solterra Central Corridor. And item 8, accepting the minutes of the Lakewood Board of Adjustment meeting of May 7th, 2014.
Thank you. And again, the resolutions on this consent agenda are items of a routine nature, and I will now ask members of the public to comment on any of the items on the consent agenda. Open up the public comment portion of it. No one's indicated a desire to speak by signing up. Anyone? All right, we will close public comment on the consent agenda, and I'm ready for a motion.
Mayor Murphy, I move for acceptance of the minutes of boards and commissions and for the adoption of resolutions, all of which are included in the consent agenda items introduced into the record by the city clerk.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the consent agenda. Any questions or comments from City Council? All right, if not, please cast your votes. And the consent agenda passes unanimously. We're on a record pace here, folks. Any general business, Margie?
There's none.
No? All right, on to the executive report. Anything, Nanette?
Nothing?
Mayor and council reports. I do not have anything. Do you have a report?
Well, no, but I did want to bring up an issue if it's not too late.
Under general business? Sure, we'll allow that.
Going back to the marijuana issue. I'm not particularly comfortable with leaving it as we've left it. I, of course, have gotten numerous calls over the weekends, as I assume most of you have, about the language of our ballot issue. And I was noting that Inglewood put a ballot issue on a while back, and they did use the word recreational marijuana. And so I think we ought to put that in the language of the ballot to clarify. I mean, the whole purpose of this ballot issue is to get a sense as to what where our people want to go. And right now, everybody's telling me they're so confused that yes means no and no means yes, and I'm not sure it's of any value at all at this point. Now, of course, I think I argued originally that we're kind of going half-baked on this, and we should have taken some time to get this right. But in any case, if we're going to be on the ballot, I again think we need to put in that terminology that it is recreational marijuana, and we're not talking about the medical.
Okay, and what kind of procedure would you follow to make that suggestion?
Well, I would make a resolution to modify our language to put in the phrase that we are banning recreational marijuana at retail stores, and if possible, maybe put in parentheses, not medical marijuana stores.
Say that again.
That the language would be that we would ban recreational marijuana retail stores in Lakewood. Short and sweet.
Okay. So, Ms. Michaud, can we modify an ordinance with a resolution? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
Ordinances may only be modified by ordinances.
All right. Thank you. Councilor Kellen?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, besides the point of order there, looking around this room right now and seeing so few people here, I would have a lot of heartburn about changing something we did when we had a room full of people, whether they liked what we did or not, when nobody has been given an opportunity to know what's going on, to be able to come and talk about this. No public notice on this issue has been made. And I think it's inappropriate to raise an issue like this without public notice.
Thank you. And we can't, as I say, modify an ordinance with a resolution. So what else, Dave?
Well, I voiced my objection, and
sure.
That's all I can do. Thank you.
Sure. Fair enough. All right. We were on reports. I actually do not have a report. Adam, do you?
No.
Scott?
I'd like to thank and congratulate the members of the O'Kane Park Neighborhood Association Board for putting on their second annual ice cream social yesterday at O'Kane Park. It was a wonderful couple hours getting a chance to meet and talk with friends and neighbors yesterday around the lake. And also to thank the Wisdom Gone Wild musical group for being there. It was very, very entertaining, and I hope everybody will be there again next year.
You know, I do want to, before I go down to Shakti, I do want to mention National Night Out last week, and I want to thank our police department that does such a great job putting that event together, organizing it, and kind of coordinating it with all the 30-plus neighborhoods that we had participating, and also for the great turnout from the PD and also from all of the neighbors. I mean, the parties that I went to were extremely well attended. There was great community spirit, and people got to know their neighbors a little bit, which is what National Night Out is really all about. So thank you all for those who organized and those who came out. We appreciate it very much. I know it's fun for all of us as well. Shakti?
No report.
Pete?
No report.
Ramey?
Yes, I just wanted to say that listening to the news every day, we live in a very uncertain and difficult world. And regardless of your faith, I would just ask that all of us in our own way say a prayer for people that are dealing with some very severe and serious issues, and pray for their leaders as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Tom?
Yes, just to remind everyone, we have our Ward 5 meeting coming up this Saturday, August 16th at 9 a.m. at Bear Valley Church, and we're hoping to have a speaker there on with an update on the Bear Creek watershed study. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cindy?
No report.
Karen?
No report.
Dave? Karen?
No report.
Wow. Margie?
No report.
Anything?
No report.
I think we have a new record in the books, 7:14. Thank you all very much. We are adjourned.